exciting. When you heard that bell ring, it just echoed throughout the whole building. And you know, school was fun. It was always fast-paced because when that bell rang, you better get moving. So there was no problem running down the hallway, get to class on time. Once the bell rang, you were already late, but you would try to get there before the bell stopped ringing. And because there was a lot of space in the hallways, you didn't have to worry about running into anybody. Basically, just try to get to the door and get through it before they were closing the door on you. So yeah, I had a lot of good memories. And saying the Pledge of Allegiance was such a wonderful thing to start the day. I feel bad that we don't carry that tradition on with our children in America today, because that really spoke volumes to my heart, and I'm sure it would to the children today. But hopefully someday we'll get the Pledge of Allegiance back into the schools. There was a lot of cool kids that we went to school with. There wasn't like a lot of troublemakers, really. There wasn't. I mean, there was one or two. I mean, Josie West, you know, she was a little wild, but she still was a sweetheart, Josie West. She wasn't like Lena LaRoe. I think her name was Lena LaRoe. Lena was real pretty. I don't know what happened to her, but anyway, there was a lot of cool kids that went to school. It was a whole different experience. It was my second elementary school. I started off with Grout Park up over by Steinmetz Homes, and BrandyWine School is a towering building, so the building itself was intimidating. I mean, to look at that place was like, you know, in second grade, look up at that place was like, wow, you know, just an impressive building structure. And then when I met some of the teachers, met the principal, you know, it seemed like you know, a decent place to go to, but it's still, the building itself was so amazing. The way it was built, the gym was upstairs and the bathroom was in the basement, and you know, there was like 4 different floors, and it was just an awesome area for school to be. We played a lot of scatterball, a lot of kickball, very active place for children to play. I mean, we always played before school, and I think we even stayed after school. We were always hitting the pavement. There wasn't a lot of grass around BrandyWine School. It was mostly blacktop. There was a small section of grass on BrandyWine Avenue, but that was the main street as far as heavy traffic that would speed across the city. I mean, they had a put a light in up there by the Fivey's house because they lost little Amy. She's a beautiful little girl. We loved Amy and Andy and Amy. That was Andy's closest sister in age, and they were real close, Amy Fivey. And they put a light in there at Bradley Street in BrandyWine because the cars would go way too fast. So if we played football, we'd play there. We'd play tackle on the grass, but if that football got out in BrandyWine Avenue, it was, you know, it was a treacherous road for kids to be playing football there. So usually we played scatterball in the front, or in the back we played kickball. And I do remember one time I was confronted by the principal in a class where a teacher either went home ill or something happened, and he scared me so bad in the closet there. I mean, he really scared me bad. Bobby Feathers used to sing. Bobby Feathers, Bobby Banks, Dennis and Ed Chaffee, Joey Ruggiero, Randy Provost, Dennis Pascarella. Dennis Pascarella let me ride his Harley. That's my man, Dennis. I always loved that brother. He's a kid. Danny Noonan, me and him used to always brawl, but we became good friends, played football together.
It's just no good anymore since you went away. Now I spend my time just making rhymes of yesterday.
And Lori Keenan, a little blonde-haired girl, she used to like me. I thought she was nice. Of course, Jody Green was my girlfriend, but Lori Keenan always liked me. Chris Adams? Oh, Chris Adams! Yeah, Chris Adams lived on BrandyWine Street. Yeah, I knew Christopher Light, and he was strong. Yeah, I was trying to remember who was as strong as me. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bragging way, but yeah, Chris was as strong as me. Jody Green lived right next to Chris Adams. Steve Brown lived there. Chris Adams. Joanne Martin. Yep. David was a great friend. Yeah, David Mercado. David played football with us, and he gave Danny Noonan a run for his money back in Central Park. So yeah, David Mercado. I've seen him a couple times.
The rooms were so much colder then. My father was a soldier then, and times were very hard when I was young.
Sometimes Mr. Davidson would get mad, but it's understandable. He had to deal with people, kids like me and stuff. But yeah, I saw Mr. Davidson a couple times, and he was living up there off McClellan Street for a little while. I don't know if he's still there now, but I'm sure Mr. Davidson felt bad about BrandyWine School going down. You know, I'm sure he did, because he was a teacher. You know, his heart was for his kids, you know, for the students. So school was a positive experience. You know, we had a lot of fun there. Mr. Davidson was probably my favorite teacher. And he might wonder why I said that, because sometimes he'd be a little strict. But I needed that. I needed somebody to kind of like, you know, guide me. A father figure. And Mr. Davidson, he really was like a father figure. Mrs. Hines was a good teacher as well. And I'm sure Mr. The football, they were all good teachers. We had a good bunch of teachers. Yeah, I enjoyed school at BrandyWine School. I wish we didn't hurry to get out of Brandywine to go to Central Park, but that was the idea. We were always trying to get to a higher grade, you know, we were always trying to get to junior high and then high school. But Brandywine was probably the best school that I attended. Oh, we played King of the Hill on the snow piles. We always throw each other down, and you know, of course I always felt I was the one that would be the king of the hill, but I'm sure there's times I got thrown down too. But yeah, it's a shame that the school was demolished. We wish we had a chance to purchase that. We didn't realize that it sold for $50,000. I mean, we would have loved to have had the opportunity to buy that building for $50,000. We would have tried to restore it and use it to its capacity as far as use. I know Dave would have used theater, and we probably could put some apartments in there, you know, and had that building still standing. It's a national historic building in our country. It's a shame all that engineering that went into that place, and now it's been destroyed. It cost our city more money to throw it away than what it sold it for. Sold it for $50,000. It cost them $500,000 to tar it away. So that's kind of sad. Of course, we like to spend some time in Vale Cemetery. Yeah, Vale Cemetery was a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, it was a big place, so sometimes you kind of wonder how long you'd be in there when you did go in there, but sometimes it gets scary too at night. You know. It's a funny thing I remember about the school. Once we found out they had a nice bed in the nurse's office, it was a great place to get a little nap. So if you were sick of class at any particular time, you always go to the nurse's office and take a little nap. So that was one of my favorite spots in the school. I did play the violin when I was a little kid. I took violin lessons. I didn't play very well. I didn't resonate my stick enough or something, because I made that thing squeal and squeak, and I just didn't think I had the talent to be a musician, so I didn't stick with it. I became more of an athlete. Yeah, the architecture of BrandyWine School was always impressive, but now that we see these pictures from the air, wow, it looks like, I mean, from the air, it's amazing. The bird's eye view for that school. If you see the website that David Tanner put together, it's really an awesome site. It's just such a sad thing to realize it's no longer there. I haven't even gone by there yet, but probably because I don't really know how I'm going to feel. I feel it's going to be a special moment when I go by, because I know it's gonna be hard for me to realize the building's not there when I go by, even though I know right now it's not there. But just to see it's no longer there, I don't know how it's gonna affect me.
Died. So bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you